Hi, I'm Alex Peace. I'm a charge nurse at ARS Ballard, and I'm here today to teach you how to do a bag search and why we do bag searches. I want to just go through some of the most basic things that Swedish policy says that we have to have security at all our searches. So when a patient is admitted, you're to go to the patient, take their bags, place them by the nurse's station, and then escort the patient just with their clothes on to their room. At that point, you would ask the patient, warn the patient that you need to search their belongings and their clothing that they have on them. And generally what I do is I'll get a hospital gown, which should be in the room if the room is set up, place it in front of the patient's body. I can still see the patient's body, but there is some sort of covering. Now this should be done for females with a female and for males with a male if possible. Generally the males don't say much if there's a female nurse. But if there's any problem, I'm sure we could find someone. We have them strip off everything. That includes shoes, socks, bras, hair clips, hats, anything at all that is on them should be thrown on the bed. And we should search all those clothing. At that point, you would put on the gown, have them turn around, tie it, that way you can see the back of their body, so nothing's stuck on there, no drug patches, anything like that. We do not make them squat, and we do not touch them at all during this, other than to tie the strings. Then you have the patient sit down, and you look through each bag of clothes, each little piece of clothes with your hands, gloves on. Wash your hands before you do it, and then I will show you some of the tricks of where they can hide it. At that point, as the nurse, you can search their clothing, but you wouldn't be searching their bag. Security will be called. They will come to the room with the bags, and you will watch them and hopefully help them to search the bags so we can get that done. We do want you to, when you first meet a patient, to explain the reason why we search. For a lot of nurses, this is like an invasive, rude, stressful thing to do to someone, especially when they first walk in. Remember, we're addiction nurses, and addiction needs a completely sober environment. So that's what I say, I'm going to do a search. This is to ensure you the best chance for real detox and real sobriety. And in order to have those things, this has to be completely drug-free. And I never blame them, even if, if they got scared and they brought something, or a lot of times people will have stuff and they didn't know it. Some pills, some cocaine, whatever. And we're just going to check it so they know there are no drugs with their things. And that way they have a greater chance of lasting in detox. Almost everyone that I've ever met that has gotten drugs through usually leaves after 2 days anyway. They're not going to make it. They bring in benzos or whatever, they take off because they're not committed. Okay, so one of the things, let's see, what are we going to do now? Oh, of course. Are we going to take a pause? So some high points first to start, and then we'll go through the bag and I'll show you all the little secret hiding places. One, these are the things that you need to take out for a detox patient. Anything with alcohol in it, excluding like hairspray. I've never heard of anybody actually drinking hairspray. But even like sanitizer, hand sanitizer should be taken. People are actually drinking those. Nail polish remover, all that stuff should be taken out. Any knives, like actual knives or weapons, we don't take away scissors. These are not suicidal patients. They can have that, unless you do have a worry about that. We take away cigarettes, lighters. We do return those cigarettes and lighters. We just bag them up and we store them in medroom B in the med cart. Let's see. Oh, also we take away all perfume and cologne, as this is a scent-free Swedish. And like those really heavy creams that they're very strong in smell. We take those too, because it just causes problems on our unit, in particular with all the pregnant women. Okay, and I wanted to give the 5 rights of an ARS search. Always unpack the entire bag and remove everything out of the bag. If you see someone just searching like by looking around, just give them a hand. We don't want people, oh, you're searching wrong. That's not helpful. What's helpful is to show somebody how to do it right. And in particular in front of the patient. So always unpack the entire bag and remove all the contents. If it can be unfolded, zipped open, unbuttoned, you must do that every time. Because often things are in seams, in pockets, in creases, that's where things are. And if somebody really wants to hide drugs, that's where they're going to hide them. I want you to listen, I want you to feel with your hands, because often you won't be able to see a drug, but you can sure feel when there's something wrong on the clothes, like there's a bump here that I don't understand. And just remember, this is not a privacy issue for our patients in ARS, this is a safety issue. Just like you would check your meds, you're checking their bag, because they're addicts and they're going to try to keep taking drugs, a lot of them. So that's it. And we don't do invasive searches, of course, but I already went through that. So, like in a purse. This is funny. So, things that you need to look at. First of all, like I said, you take every single thing out of the purse. You know, try to be polite about it. Unfortunately, not every purse is like this one. That it's clean and neat, so definitely have gloves on, and also needles can be in purses, so please be careful. Sticking your hand anywhere where you can't see it. You know, if you can politely on their bed, ask them, you know, there's a lot of stuff in here, can I just pour it out on your bed, maybe even put a towel, and just pour everything out and then sift through it in that way. So you're not, you know, making a huge mess and embarrassing them. Okay, so first we'll go through the contents. Now, I did a lot of the hiding of this search, so I know where things are, and I'm just going to make it quick. Otherwise, this will take forever. But this is okay. Like a nail kit, you will not take from them. It's perfectly okay for them to cut their cuticles. It gives them something to do, actually. That's okay. Lipsticks, just make sure you open it. This is one of those things you want to open it and you want to take a look. These are good hiding places. This is like a regular makeup compact, and they always have the second. You got that?
Yeah.
So you can stick drugs in here. If they tape it down, you're not going to hear it. So you need to open this all the way and open both compartments to see. And I did, I believe, 2 of them to show you, but I can't find it. Oh, yeah, here it is. And I put one in here too, just to really put the point home, because this is often, sometimes even where somebody would store their drugs just when they're going into a club or anything else. So, you know, because you just look at it, it's harmless, right? It's not harmless. And this has nothing in it. And then also, we have a lot of sort of complicated makeup kits, or whatever you want to call them. And so you really need to make sure that you're looking, and this is really wide, right? And you can actually pull it out, and there you go. You know, they can fit quite a bit of drugs there. So you really need to actually stop, take the time, and open everything, and make sure you're really opening everything. Let's see. Generally, like, everything else is good, except for, what do you do with this? You open it, of course. And what a lot of people did when I did the search is they looked at this and didn't look at the cap, because that's exactly where it's going to be. And a thing to remember is a very popular place to put drugs is in deodorant bottles for some reason. I'm not entirely sure, maybe because everyone has one, but they're hidden in there. So you need to open those, even if it's like peely or whatever. Open it and take a look. Okay. Now, then you look at the purse itself. Now this one's pretty plain, but as you know, purses have lots of pillow, you know, like pockets, and just they're billowy and huge. Take the time, because this is often where somebody will mistakenly leave drugs. In a wallet. It's very easy to put Suboxone films into a wallet. They're very thin, they're very easy to hide. And I want to at first mention that if you do miss something, we understand that. As you'll see from when we look through all the things, all the ways that we would hide things, there isn't any way, I mean, for you to be able to find every single drug, honestly.
People are creative.
They are. They're incredible. And if they really want to get them through, they're going to get them through. So we're just trying to do thorough search. And we definitely are not beating up on any nurses that make, that let something pass by, or security officers. So you pull up the pocket, and there it is. Nobody ever found that. Well, I think like one person actually found it in the end, because everybody looks in the pocket, but you don't look behind the pocket. And really, you can hide an enormous amount of drugs behind this leather because you can't feel it. So that's one of the tricks of the trade. Okay, so that's it with the purse, and now we're going to go into the bag. Let's see. Sorry.
You're good.
I'm good?
You're
You can stop
good.
for a minute?
Okay.
So a lot of women, they bring in suitcases. We have rules in ARS about how much luggage you can take. You can take one bag. For a detox patient, we have requested, although it's definitely not foolproof, for people to just bring in more of a carry-on, smaller than this even, because it's 4 or 5 days. Ever get on the phone with somebody, please ask them to take little, and you'll see why soon, because you're meant to search it all, and the more stuff they take, the better chance you have of missing something. Okay, so we're going to unzip every single thing, and we're going to kind of zip through this. You want to check all these pockets, which don't have anything, I know. Yeah. A lot of people have been already searching. And here we go. So we have a Kleenex, and you want to feel all the way around. This might be one of those times that you're going to actually miss something. Now, I can feel that there are pills in here. They can easily put drugs in here in a plastic bag, even if it's moist. This is something that I would just feel like this. You are not going to take out all their Kleenex and look through it. Their wet ones or whatever. That is one of those things that you just got to give me. You got to, we're not
trust your
we're
fingers.
not ripping everything apart. Now, Tampax, generally unless the Tampax are unwrapped, there's really nowhere to get it in. So, I don't worry. But pads, and this is another thing that we're not going to do. As you see, the nurses did do that, but they ripped them all open. But I found that you could actually hide drugs easily in the first slot in there without opening the Tampax. You couldn't tell at all. So it's really easy to hide that. And I show this stuff to you guys because the truth is that's how things get by. And we're not going to open every single sanitary napkin of every girl. Maybe we'll consider one day not having, providing our own or whatever if it becomes a problem. So that's one spot that you can hide drugs. Let's see. On to the next. Oh, and for the security officers or the male nurses, I need to just stress to you that, and I don't mean this badly about drug addicts. I love drug addicts, but part of addiction that's necessary if you're going to be successful addicts is to learn how to be sneaky, to learn how to lie, and to learn how to manipulate to some degree, because it's difficult, to keep using. People will catch you, and so instead of being hurt by that, just accept it as part of the disease. This is something they were forced to do. They have to have these drugs. That's what it feels like. And so they're going to do whatever it takes to keep them. So you can't be threatened by sanitary napkins and bras and underwear, because every woman with any sense, that's where she's going to put them, because nobody wants to touch her underwear or bras, in particular if it's a man. So I'd like you to just remember that this is about the patient's safety. We don't want this girl ODing. That has happened in detox. So it's better if we just look at, and also if she has cigarettes and she smokes, she's kicked out. So that whole detox is gone. Okay. So we pull everything out as usual. Nothing faster. This is long, isn't it?
It's a big suitcase.
It is a big suitcase. So I found some matches in a bra. Underwear bras, or nowadays the bras they have a lot of form already to them, so you can't really feel it. Like if you just touch it and go like this, you have to open it. And the same with big-chested women. you can hide a whole pack of cigarettes in here, and there were a lot of people that were unable to, that didn't notice it. You just would never know. You touch this and it's not there. Okay, and we'll just go right to the sneaky parts. Underwear. So, in a lot of underwear in the crotch, most underwear people just touch, right? But there is something that you might want to take a look at, and all of them have a little like pocket, like here for the cotton thing that goes against the
Cotton lining.
cotton lining, that's it. And this is a great place to hide drugs, honestly, because nobody's going to touch the crotch of your underwear or really look at that, in particular a security officer, you know, while you're watching. So that's something that we need to just get over, and we're just going to do it anyway. And also, don't be afraid to take everything out, because look, I found a cell phone. Pregnant women on ARS cannot have a cell phone. It's caused a lot of problems, and actually women have been kicked out because they refuse to give up their cell phone or were hiding it and lying. So that's that. So we got the whole underwear thing. Okay, and bras. Oh my goodness. Okay. And we'll just do this really quick. Oops. Oh, I forgot something. Also, for girls, bathing suits. A lot of people are going to treatment after this. Pregnant women generally bring the most clothes into ARS, and sometimes they're even going into 6-month treatment after, or they're homeless and this is all their clothes that they're bringing in. They always have linings, and as you can see, you can put stuff in the lining. So you want to really touch all this and just make sure that you've checked as well as you can without spending hours. Okay, and let's see. So what do we do? I bet you guys can do it now. So we bring out the deodorant. And once again, there are drugs in there. You see that?
Powder.
Yeah, a lot of powder. It's baking soda, I swear to God. We don't check in any liquids. A lot of people were asking me. Now, generally, I think if you were going to be really clever, that's where you would hide it. But we are not going to pour out their shampoos. We're not going to get invasive. We're not there to destroy anything. We're there to protect them. So if we just keep that in mind, and we're thorough but not, you know, hurting anything. And again, another these are great places to hide drugs. And if you could just feel around, I actually can find the drugs in this. This has some drugs in here, and you can feel them right here.
Are those lozenges or something? What's in, is that another, are those sanitary napkins?
These are facial cleaning
Oh,
towels.
facial, oh.
A lot of people have these now.
The towelettes.
Like the white bits, yeah, the white bits. And it's just a great place. I mean, you can really put them in. You can't see them. I put mine on the top so people could see inside and see like, oh, wait a minute, you know. But like I said, we don't take them out. If you can see or you feel something, then please do look inside. You're totally welcome to do that. Okay, shoes. So I didn't have any of the cool shoes that they have out now. There are a lot of sneakers and hiking shoes that do have pockets in them that even have little sections in the heels. So you need to really look at the shoe. They're meant for keys and things like that. But you can put other things in there too. So the one thing I do want to say is that a lot of people will hide drugs in the
under the sole?
yeah, under the sole, and also all the way at the toe. So there's some here, and if you tape it down, once again, you can turn this boot, somebody ripped it off, so this boot upside down, and nothing will fall out.
If it was taped down?
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely you would tape everything down, because then it just can't be found, really, unless you stick your hand in their shoe, which you should do. Okay, so that's good. One of the tricks with shoes. And now we'll get on to the clothes, pretty much. Oh, and a quick aside, a lot of bags, suitcases nowadays have lots of clever little pockets. And I did the whole ARS unit, pretty much, with this search, some during the fair and then some after. And not one person found the cell phone that I had hidden.
In one of those zippered pockets or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right here on this bag, there's one right here, and no one ever saw it. God, I could have put it like a pound of marijuana or something in there. And it's right here. And a lot of them, and there's an iPod in here, I think, something. So, you know, there's a girl with anything. She could put her cigarettes, whatever in there.
Are they allowed iPods or?
Yes, we're allowing iPods as long as they're not internet ready. Clearly, if you have internet while you're at cups, you might as well have a phone because you're always online and doing whatever. Usually they give themselves away, or a family member calls and goes, "Oh, I just talked to her. I'm just calling her back." Yeah. Not supposed to be done. So you want to really look for those kind of secret pockets. I don't know why suitcase companies do that, but there's just a lot of them. I'll mess with that later. Okay. All right. So the clothes, and I'm just gonna pick out the clothes where drugs are hidden, just so you can get an idea. But whenever you open, you unfold. And what I often do is I'll shake it out and then throw it over the chair and just say, you know, we can pack it up later. If somebody has very little stuff and they look like they're feeling sick, often I'm like, well, where would you like it? And I'll just stick it in the little credenza that's by their bed. Generally, that's with guys. They have less stuff. And it's like, okay, your underwear are here and your socks are here and your, you know, shorts are there, and that's the end of it. So you actually did a service rather than made them feel like a bad person. In shirts, this is a tricky shirt, kind of, because of the seams. See all the seams and the complicatedness of it? So you put your hand in the pocket and there's nothing there. But the truth is, it's in the seam. So you have to look. You need to try to look at everything that you can possibly look at and unbutton. And I'm not going to do all that just for the purposes of this film, but you want to really be feeling everything, because you often will find stuff by feeling it. Onward. There's nothing there. It's funny how I remember this, and I don't know. So here's a pair of jeans. You would have looked at everything, felt everything, and looked in every single pocket, right? Put your hands in, felt too, looked in maybe. But what do you see here? They're cuffs. Cuffs are a very classic place to hide. And I have a large amount of drugs in these cuffs, or baking soda, really. Wait, where is it? Oh, geez, I can't find it. Hold on. Did it fall out? Oh, it probably fell out. Well, either way, they
It's
were
still
there.
a good place.
Yeah, no, but yeah, too many people have been in this bag. I apologize. But either way, you should always undo cuffs. And if they're the little ones, there are a lot of pants that girls wear that they can roll up, and then there's the little thing, unbutton that thing and uncuff those pants, because that is a really easy and sort of...
Those cargo pants or whatever.
Yeah, that can turn into like
pedal
the shorter...
pushers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, not good.
That's an old term.
So, I wonder where that went. It's probably in the bag. It's going to be a mess. I'm going to have to clean this up. So, you have another one. You're looking through this. You're looking. Maybe you feel something, right? But you don't know what it is. But you think so. Another place to look, you won't always be able to because not all pants are made the same, is you can see the pocket and there's nothing in it.
You flip it over.
You flip it over and there are drugs. So you really want to take a look and you want to feel it there. You can feel a bump, but it's not obvious at all. It could easily be the seam. So you just want to take a look. There's nothing wrong with, really looking at a person's clothes. Also, another thing to keep in mind is, as we do this search, we do not kick people out when we find drugs in the search at all. We dispose of all those drugs, and there's no shame, no docking that person in any way, shape, or form. That doesn't mean they don't want to get sober. Actually, even if they don't want to be there, it doesn't mean they don't want to get sober. They've proved that people that even that are forced to go to treatment get sober just as much as people that want to go to treatment. So we just need to help them through it. We just want to walk them through it. It's very scary to walk into treatment. There's nothing in these or these. Okay. These pants that I hate. And lots of people have these in the summer, and boys especially, with the 5 million pockets, right? And you know what? Even knowing that I had hidden all these drugs everywhere in these pants, people still miss the drugs. So do your very best. That's all you can do. But as you can see here, it doesn't feel like drugs, but it's a Suboxone film. So you can put 8 milligrams of Suboxone. A patient can get very sick if they take this. And often that is what they take into detox, is Suboxone. And then there are more drugs hidden in the little pocket here. So, and remember that if you find one thing, that doesn't mean the person isn't hiding more things in the same pair of pants. Okay, and then just a nightgown, so you want to check every pocket. And that's the same reason. If you're not feeling this, most nightgowns don't have pockets, right? Well, this one does. And you need to find that and really look through it. So this is, again, where you want to feel. Because now it's like, wait a minute, there's something there. And then you hear something. Okay. All right. And, oh, this is a good one. So in these pair of gloves, you can feel everything and you can't feel any drugs. The only way really to tell in a pair of gloves, because a lot of them are really stiff, is to slip them on. Slip them off. Now
put them
that
on
feels,
yourself.
if they're really gross or whatever, I mean, just do your best. But there's some drugs right in this pocket. Like you can feel it in there. Because you can put a half a gram of whatever, or I guess heroin or whatever. That's a lot. That's a lot for a person to have in their room. It's dangerous. Let's see. Oh, and of course I had to get the cargo pants for the boy. They have the gigantic pockets, and there are some drugs in these. And they're often like with 5 million buttons closed, and that doesn't mean you shouldn't open them. That you can go ahead and open them, that you want to put your hands in here, you want to look back behind the pockets and just take a really clear look, because these are gigantic pants, and there's a lot of places that you could put it. Another place too, although I didn't hide them in these, is this hem right here. Because when you go down, you won't feel it as much. It's got coverage, so you want to take a look at hems, always. Okay, and let's see. Here we go. And for guys, just so you know, all girls' jeans have this small, teeny pocket. And boys don't really have that as much. It's actually a real pocket, so you need to get, I know sometimes it's almost like you can't even fit your finger in there, but it's something that you want to really take a look at, and there are some drugs in this pocket. And I know, I noticed that the men generally miss that because their jeans don't have that pocket, so they're just checking the regular, pockets.
Yes, I always wondered about that little pocket. What purpose
What is that
it
pocket
served?
for? Yeah, it's a pain. It's too small. And then again, you want to look behind the pockets and you want to check the seams. You want to unroll them if they're rolled. Okay. Another example of places to hide drugs are these are workout. The stretchy workout things, and they almost always will have a pocket here or a pocket down here for keys. That's a good place, and you can tell by, just search for it. Take a look, and you can find it. That's not a problem. Those are easy to search because they're just bare, Nothing in that, and then let's see. This is one of the ones I can't remember, so just give me a minute. If I remember right, see, look, I just missed one.
One of those little pockets?
Yeah, it has a little pocket, but the little pocket is so big that you don't really notice it, and there are drugs in there. So once again, I just thought it was kind of clever because you really can't see it. I had a lot of fun doing this. Let's see. Okay, now I'm not going to open every sock because I can't remember where I hid the drugs in the socks. Only that the same as the mittens, you need to unroll every single sock, shake them out, and feel them pretty well. And if you have any doubt, put your hand in the sock and just feel. And they can't hide anything if you have your hand all the way in there. Because socks, especially socks that are, folded up like this, that's how I do mine at home. They can have anything in them. There's a lot of padding there. Okay, also inside the suitcase, and we don't go bananas on this, to be honest with you, at ARS, but if there's any doubt in your mind, please just open the lining. Almost every suitcase has a lining, and it'll be really nice and just sort of plain. And as you can see, there's drugs in the lining of this suitcase, and quite a bit of drugs. And truly, there's
You're not
actually
gonna
this
feel them.
space underneath, where I could have put them, and maybe you wouldn't have seen them. And that's, once again, are we going to rip their suitcase apart? Absolutely not. And if drugs get missed, and you find out about it, and you know so and so did this admin and did this search, are we going to get down on them? No, because as you can see, you probably wouldn't have found all the drugs in this bag. And we want the no blame policy in ARS. We do our very best to keep our patients safe, but we're not here to get each other in trouble. That's not professional. Okay, so, and I just want to show you the last place, and we're just about done. So that's good. And I just hid it on the other side too, and I've forgotten. Oh, wait. It's the other zipper. Sorry. Wait, which zipper is this? Oh, it's this zipper. Right. So, also in this one, and see, I've just hidden so much stuff in here I can't remember. And this is what happens to drug addicts as well. Some of them are even dealing drugs. That means they have a lot of drugs around. And so they might have gone on a trip last week or whatever, and they put some drugs in here. Well, let me tell you, when you're sitting there detoxing, maybe they'd remember that a little while later, right? So once again, here's something, and this was taped like back in the corner here. And so you can't feel it. If you reach the bottom, you're not going to feel it. So you want to just take a look and touch both ways, like this, and then underneath as well. Okay? Really got to redo this bag. Everybody's been in the bag and ripped everything apart. So, so the 5 rights, as you saw, we unwrap every single thing. We use our senses. We don't blame other nurses if things are missed. And we explain to patients. I have a little thing here where it's basically, if you need a way to say this to a patient, say, "Hi, my name is Alex, and I'm going to do a safety search of your bags today. We search you on a mission to ensure a successful detox. Many people are fearful of going through detox and will bring drugs in to help them through that time. But we found that if they bring in drugs, that they often will not even stay in detox. So I'm going to search all your stuff and make sure that this room is completely drug-free for your safety." And that's all you have to say. People understand that. I've never had anyone who wanted to be an ARS have any trouble with that. What else can I tell you? And that's it for Search for Safety in ARS. Good luck.